Welcome back. So in our Selenium with Python series, we are now looking into the page object model, how we can design a page object model. So in our previous session, we have seen how we can create a base page, and which is basically consisting of all the browser specific options like the operations, I can say, where you can click on element, you can send keys, you can get the text or wait for certain element. So all those related stuff you can do by using this base page. And why we are making, just to make sure that the same methods we can call in all of our page objects to reduce the repetitive sending the details. Okay, and then if you want to add any kind of logs also, you can add it here as well. And then we have seen one login functionality. Like if I go real quick into the login, we have seen how we can do a valid login and invalid login, all those details we have seen. So now we will be going a step ahead and we will see how we can perform some actual functional testing of the particular application that we are seeing. So if you go to this settings.py, let me go to this settings.py. So we are using this source demo site where, like as I was telling, we have seen the valid and invalid login. So now as a second part, let's understand how we can write different scenarios based on the functionality, the actual functionality. So let me just navigate to this particular demo site, and then let me just quickly log into this. And okay, so as you can see, this is basically the home page, or we can say the products landing page. And now we will be looking into few of this stuff, how we can utilize these particular functionalities and create a few test cases based on the page object model that we have discussed earlier. Okay, so now if you see here, we have like six products actually here. So basically, and each one of them is having few of the buttons. I mean, one of the button add to cart. So if I do a add to cart, then you can see it is basically the count is becoming one. If I click on another one, it is the count is two. So this is one of the scenario we can test it, and that how many items you are adding, the cart should show that many items. Like if I'm doing add to cart once, then it should show only one, it should not show zero or more than one. So that is one kind of validation we can do. And another validation, count the number of products on the landing page. So that is one, like the total count we can see as six. And then after that, like as you can see, I'm adding, like let's say that four items. So the now the number is four, but now I'm removing one, so the card is becoming three. So that is what another scenario we can test it. One more functionality I can think of is this: if you go to this short, like where you can sort, do the sorting. And here there are like four different type of sortings are there. One is name A to Z, which is alphanumeric or alphabetical order. It is displaying all the products. If you go to G to A, it is basically the reverse alphabetical order. And then low to high, it is basically the amount wise. And then if you go to another option, it is high to low. Okay, and the default is always the name A to G. Okay, so these are the three different scenarios. There are some more scenarios as well, like even you can check it for this particular item, what is that amount, is it properly reflecting or not. So these kind of UI and functional validations you can do on this product landing page. Okay, so and another thing, like the functionalities what I told, you can make different test cases. Like one test case would be count the number of items, it should be six. Add few of the items and verify the count increases on the cart count, and then you can decrease. So these two functionalities could be in one test case. Another test case you can create dedicatedly to this particular drop down actually, where you can say, let's say that if I'm making this price low to high, it means that the first item whatever it is displaying should be having the less count or less amount. Like I can say that if I'm choosing low to high, then the first item count amount should be $7.99. So that is what we can test it actually. Or maybe what you can do, you can just select each one of these options and then verify as per that the first item is reflecting properly or not. Or else another scenario, if you want to go bit more deeper, what you can do, you can simply capture all of these items and you can put it into an array or a list and then compare that if it is in alphabetical order or not. So but we are not going that much details into that because we just wanted to see how we can perform different or how we can write different test cases by using our page object model concept. Okay, so without wasting time, let me go back to our code, and if you see here, let me close all the tabs here. Okay, as you can see, we have pages and we have tests, right? In this I have actually a home page where I can write all of my details about the locators and the functionalities, and then in the test functionality, in the test package, I can create a new file and I can say test underscore, I can say homepage. Okay, homepage.py. Okay, so let me just add to the GitHub. Okay, I think the name is incorrect. There is a mistake. Let me make it like this. Okay, fine. Now here what we will be writing, what should be our test case actually. So for the first thing, if I go to this test login, you can see this is my first thing that I required because I have to get the base test as my what you call inheritance, right? I will be inheriting so that I can get all the functionalities like the driver object. I can get it from this base underscore test.py. Okay, now here what I can do at this moment, let me just say test products, product items, I can just say like this, test products or product items, anything I can make it here. And then here also let me just make it as a test homepage, some name I'm giving here, and under this I will be writing. Now the first thing what I need to do here, the first thing I need to do a login, actually log into this application. Then the second thing is that I need to verify the product count. I'm just writing the steps that we will be performing one by one. Now the third scenario would be add couple of items and verify the cart count. That is one more. Now the second scenario, let me just make a space here. Another test case would be like remove products from cart, verify the updated count. That's it. So these are the four different what do you call steps that we are going to see, or the four different validations we will do with respect to this products. Then we will create another method to check the drop down, the sorting sorting functionality. Okay. So for the first scenario, let's see how we can log in. Okay. So for us, for to log in, actually we have something called as login page. Let me write this and then we'll show you. Okay. And now here I need to pass two parameters. Like if I mouse over to this login, you can see it is requiring a username and a password. Now from where we need to get the username password, if I go to this settings.py, you can see there is a username and there is a password, the valid login I need to do at this moment. So what I can do, I can just write settings because it is coming from settings.py. So I will say settings.username and then another is settings.password, and I can import the settings.py and it is under src pom.settings. Okay, now this is basically will log into that application. Now I want to wait till the product page is landing. So what I can do, home page, we have seen this one in our previous session. I'll show you also. So I'll say wait for product. Okay, I'll say wait for product text. So this is nothing but this one, actually I'm waiting for this product text. Okay, and if you go to this home page, you will see wait for product text. Fine. Okay, so now my first step is done, actually if it is successfully logging in, then only I can get into the product details page, right? Okay, now the for to perform the second step, what I need to do, the first and thing is that I need to count the number of items, actually. So each item I need to count, so I can just do a inspect, and then let me go to this selectors hub because I normally prefer that one. Let me do one thing, let me put it under this so that we can identify properly. Oops, sorry. Yep. Okay, so now if I expand this bit more, Okay, now to get this, if you see here, there is an inventory item actually. So if you see, there are actually multiple inventory items: one, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Okay, so there are six items are there. Okay, now if I go with class name, then I will be getting all the items actually. So can I write like this here? Let me go to this home page, and this is my locator space, right? Here I will be writing all the locators specific to that page. So can I say like this: inventory items equal to, I will say by dot maybe css selector. Okay, just a second. Yeah, by dot css selector, comma. Can I say like this? So this is a class, right? Inventory item. So let me copy this one, and then here I'll put this one a dot because it is a class attribute. I will put like this. Now this is basically the inventory items. Now if I get the count of this, then basically I will see all the items count, which I can verify in the test case actually. Now to get that count, I will write one method actually here, because I will not be calling this directly variable or this element into my test case. For each and every action, it's better to write a method. As it is feasible, always try to write a method actually inside this. So I will say get items count. I will say get items count, get inventory items count, or normal items count, or products count. Any name you can give that. Okay, now here what I will be doing, I will be returning the number of items, right? So return, and then here I will say self dot, let's see if I have anything. If I in the base page, let's see. Okay, I don't have any count, what do you call, to count an element. So can I write like this? So I will say get, and then I will put a count. Okay, and now here I will be passing the by locator. So any item that you want to, what do you call, count the number, actually you can send that particular by locator, and then you can count that item. So here I will say return, and then to count that in Python we are using the len function. Inside this I will say self dot, I'll say by locator. Now I need to identify this element, right? So if you see here, we always used to wait for certain element, that element to locate, and then we were performing certain operation. So can I do the same thing here? I'll say like this. Now what this will do, presence of element located. Now this is basically giving me only one element only. But if you see here, there is another method. Let me just do like this, and if I put a control space bar, you will see presence of all elements located. It means that it will give me how many elements are matching with this by locator, get that count, and I'm sending that as a length actually. Now this get count method I will be using here actually. So get count, and I will be passing that locator. What is that locator? Inventory items. That's it. Now this get items count I will be using in my test home page. That is what I'm doing. Now just to understand this, let me print it first. So what I will do, self dot home page, this is the object. If I put a dot, you will get the get item count. Let's see that you can see get items count. Fine. Now if I put this, then directly I will be seeing the it will be printing the number of items are present on the landing page. So here I will be putting an assert. So always try to, as much as possible, always try to give a assert statement in each of your steps, because that is what actually we are writing the automation test case, right? So I will say like this. So self dot home page, this is basically I'm fetching from the application, equal to I am saying that 6. So normally what happens, let me just put it. Okay, so this will compare. So if you see in my previously, did I do, yeah, I used to do like this is my expected, and then this is actual means which I'm fetching. So basically we have to do reverse actually, like assert, fetch the details, fetch the expected actual. Actually actual means from your what do you call actual text actually, or actual content from your application, then this is my expected actually. That's how actual expected you need to compare like this. Fine. Okay, so now if it is matching to 6, then only it will proceed, else it will throw assertion error and will fail your test case. Fine. So that is what the first we have done. That first second step, this is login is the first step. Second step is the product count. Now third step, we need to add couple of items to this cart, like I was showing here, one, two, and then three. Let's say that if I'm putting three, then it is showing as three. Now if I'm removing one, then it will be giving me one less count. So it means that what and all things I need. First I need to find out the locator for this add to cart, and then this particular count, this count bubble, and then once I'm doing add to cart, I should be able to remove it again. Okay, so for this, to make it simplify, what I will do, first I will get all the add to cart of this screen. How many are there? So I will be first fetching all the add to cart items. I will be looping across that, and then I will be clicking on them. Now, if everything I'm clicking, it will be 6. Then probably after matching or after asserting that all the add to carts are done, it should be showing as 6. I will verify. Then what I will do, probably maybe I will just remove one or two actually here, and then we'll verify the cart count should be 4. That is what we are going to do. So for this, what I will do, let me first search or identify this add to cart. Okay. Now if you see one thing actually I can do, I can directly use an XPath actually, where I will say the text should be, the button text should be add to cart actually. I can just what do you call, collect those many what do you call items or the web elements, and then keep clicking on them. This is one of the way. Or else what I will do, I can do even like this. If you see, I have actually inventory item, right? Now if you see under each inventory item, I have this add to cart. Now can I do like this, like inventory item, and I will traverse through the count of this inventory item, and then what I will do, I will be fetching this particular button. Now if you see under this inventory item, I have only one button, and that is this add to cart button. Let me show you in a different way. So easy way is that you can just find like this. So I can say like this, like button, and then I will say like this. Maybe I will try to do an XPath, because normally this text you cannot what do you call, identify by using CSS selector. You have to use the XPath only. Now here I will say contains, okay, and then I will say text, and then comma. You can do like this, add to cart. Okay, let's see if this works fine or not. And for this, let me just keep a single quote, and contains close bracket and then square bracket. Let's see where is the problem. Okay, the square bracket should be after the curly bracket, and then yeah, as you can see, it is giving only 2. Why it is giving 2? Oh, because I have made everything removed, right? So I can do now. If I put enter, I will see 6 elements matching. But the problem is that if I am going to this way, then to remove one of these items, if I have to again add another item as remove. Like if you see like this, it will just give me 5 elements only, because I had made it like this. So here what I need to do, again I have to make it as remove actually here. Then I will be getting one item matching. So I'm not going to this approach. This is absolutely fine actually, no problem with this. But then I wanted to give some other what do you call, structure actually to this. So that's why what I will be doing, I will be utilizing a CSS selector. And if you see here, inventory underscore item. So this is basically, if I'm doing, as we know, we are getting 6 different what do you call, matching nodes or matching elements. Now here what I can do in the CSS selector, we have something called as nth child. You can see nth child, and I will put as 1. Now you can see it is giving me this particular. Now the same thing, if I'm putting 3, it is giving me this one. So I have that leverage actually to make it as I in my code. So first I will be counting all the inventory items with me, then I will be counting over, or I will be looping over by making this I as my index actually. And in each loop, or each time it will be iterating, I will be clicking on this add to cart by not identifying based on this text. Let me show you that. So I will put, let's first go to the first one. Now if you go to here, um, after this what I will do, I will put a space and I will put a button actually. Now you can see it is matching one node. Now if I'm making it a remove, then also it is able to identify. So that is what the beauty of this particular what you call CSS selector build actually. Because this button I'm not caring about it is a add to cart or remove actually. Okay, if I click this one for the first time, it will be add to cart. If I'm again clicking on that, it will be remove actually. So that is how I will be taking care of that. And I'm just taking it as button because if you see under this inventory item, if I see under this inventory item, I have only one button only. You can see only one button is there. Else what you can even do that, you can even put a dot and I can say button underscore primary. Let's see if it is working. Okay, just a second. Let me remove this one. And you can see even this button primary is also coming. But the problem is that whenever I'm doing a remove, you can see it is becoming button secondary actually. So that is what one problem. Let's see if inventory is coming. Oh, okay. Even inventory is also coming. So if you remove, you can see one element matching. If you make it add to cart also, it is showing. Okay. See why I'm building this one, just to make sure that I'm not depending on this add to cart text because there is no ID associated with this. So that's why I will be applying this way. Now, if you're not understanding, just hold it. Let me first do a for loop, then you will be getting. Now, what is my job here? I need to count the number of inventory items and click on the add to cart. That's it, right? So let's go to this home page. Home page means home page object. And here what I will be doing, I will be creating a method and I will say some name. Maybe I will say add all items to cart. Some name I'm giving, and I always prefer to give underscores in each word so that it is very good looking, and Python normally prefers the same way only. Okay, so what I will do, I will do a for loop actually. For I, I'm taking a variable in. Now up to what actually? I will be putting a range actually. Now this range will be starting from 1 till what? Till the inventory count, right? Now what is that inventory count? Can I say like this actually? If can I call this one, this method? Now this is basically returning me the number of items, right? So I will be directly calling this one. How do I call? Self dot get items count, and it's a method, right? Now one problem with this range is that whatever the current range is, I mean whatever this value, it will compare, it will compare one less actually. Like if it is 6, let's say that we are getting 6, right? If I'm keeping this one 1 to 5 only, it will be taking. When it is encountering this 6 on the loop, it will be coming out of the loop. So that is why I'm making it as 1, so that it will continue till the 6 items. Okay, so that is what one thing you need to remember in the while designing the for loop in Python actually. Okay, now here what I will do, now I have got actually everything. I've got the range till what actually it should be clicking on that button. Now can I do like this? Now the next part is I need to click something. What I need to click? I need to click this particular by locator, by CSS selector, right? So I'm not creating a variable here. Okay, one by locator. I'll let you know why I'm not doing that. This is just deviating to whatever we have discussed so far. Oops, sorry. Let me grab this particular stuff. Okay, now this is the reason actually. Now here I will be putting I actually, because the thing is that I'm not sure like the till what I need to go. I cannot hard code it 1 2 3 like this. I have to loop it. Each loop it has to come like this. Okay, now what is the problem here? Maybe one extra it is coming. No. Mm, Okay, it's just asking for a new line. But you know, one problem actually with the here is that this I is becoming part of this particular string actually. This I is not exactly what you call following this I. Okay, that's why you can see the color is not, it's just taking as a normal text. So what I will be doing, this is something new actually we are learning here. I will be making this a string. So this part I'm making one string, and then from here also I'm making another string up to here actually. Like this is one string, this is one string, and I will become the value, dynamic value. So tomorrow let's say that sauce demo site is adding two more items actually, and we want to click on add to cart. Then we don't want to hard code anything, it will just take the range and it will be keep on clicking on that add to cart. Now you will see one error actually here, which is telling that it has to be a string actually. We have to concatenate a string, but I is basically an integer because it's a range, right? We are taking it. So what we can do, we can change this one to a string. It's not like Java where you can concatenate different data types. So it has to be a string when you are concatenating. So that's why I'm converting that into a str method. Now whatever the I value will be, like for the first time it will be 1, so it will be selecting this first button. Now when it will go to the second, it will click on this second. Like this it will be keep on doing till the end of the product. That's it. Now it will be clicking on that. Once it will be clicking, what the second thing what we need to do, we need to identify this bubble actually. Now the second thing, let's go to this bubble actually, identify this bubble. So what I will be doing, I will just go to this and I will click on this. You can see it is directly coming this one. Like here I can only see the class name only. You can see one. If I'm putting another one, you can see it is changing to 2. Now if I'm putting another 3 and 4, like this it will be keep on changing. Now this is what we need to capture it, so that we can assert that. So for this actually what I can do, so I have seen already, if I'm taking this one actually, this shopping cart badge actually as a class name, it is able to identify this one. Or else you can see here it is giving an automatic class name, it is giving a tag name. So all these options are there. Even it is giving you the css selector, a built-in css selector, you can even use that. Okay, so what I will do, let me copy this one. Only this one I'm taking as a class name. Let's see if it is identifying or not. So for this what I will do here, I'll say cart underscore count some by locator name, and here I will be putting by dot, I will say class name. Okay, comma, I'll put this one actually here. So this will give me the card count. Now for this, like again I said, to fetch this card count, I will be creating again another method, because I said how much possible create that many methods here. It will be easy to call in your test case. So can I say like this, get cart count, like we were doing get items count, right? So here I will say like this, and I will say return, and we have a ready-made method right in the base page, that is get count. Now inside this what I will be sending, self dot, I will say cart count. That's it. Now this will return me the number of cart count, whatever it is there. So this will be adding to the cart, this will be fetching me the number of items. Now can I do like this, let's go to this, and here I will be calling like this, self dot home page. Okay, if I put a dot, I will see add. If I put add all items to the cart, that's it. Now you can see we have made hidden all of our logics or the implementation details. Now this is the exactly step whatever I'm performing here. Okay, now this particular method will loop how many items are there, that many times it will be clicking on that add to cart. Now the second thing what I need to do, I can even print actually here just to see actually what is the count. Now here I will say get, and here I can say get cart count. Now the same one I will assert as well, printing so that you can see that, but in real time you need not to print it actually. So I will say get hyphen underscore cart count equal to I will say 6 actually. Okay, now one thing actually here, normally it is throwing me one error actually. Why? Because if you see this get items count, let me go to this get items count. Now here if you go, let me go to this. Now this length, whatever it is there, right? This is giving me an integer value, this one. But if you see this one, get card count, where is that? This one, home page, right? Now this get card count, actually there is a problem. Just a second. It should not be a get count actually. It should be get underscore text, because there is no count actually. It's basically we are just able to, we are identifying this text actually. Okay, this text we are trying to fetch it. That's why I have to use it as a get text. Now what is get text? It is basically the inner text of that particular HTML tag. So that's why this will return me an integer, because items count is basically coming from length actually. But this is not a length. This will give me the get text, which is a string. That's why what I will do, I'll put it in single quotes, so that it will be taking it as a character instead of your integer actually, that one. Fine. Okay. So now let's do one thing. Before we will be removing a particular item and then comparing, let's first try to execute this particular test case and see that so far are we correct or not. Okay. So let me do one thing. Okay, we are under this test. Let me just put a ls. Yes. Okay. Now to run this, what I will be doing, pytest -sb, so that I can see more details into the console, and then I will be executing this home page dot py. Okay, now let's see that. You can see six different items it has added, and also it is verified whether it is six or not, and you can see it is printed. Now this first six is how many items are present. This six is that what is that count you got it from the cart count. Even I can just, for more verbosity, I can say cart count. Okay, I'll say like this, and here I can say product count, I can say like this. Okay, so that you can see proper output. Fine. Okay, so far we have these three steps we could able to perform without any issue, and our test case is becoming pass as well. Now the second thing is that I need to remove few of the items and verify whether it is the cart count is updated properly or not. Like I said, actually, after, like if you see here, everything is remove only. And now this is what the situation so far we have automated. Now let's do one thing. I want to click on first two items, or I want to remove actually first two items. Now, as I told, the same locator strategy we can use it actually. This inventory, nth child, and then whatever the number we want to give, like first or second here, and then the button inventory. Then be it on add to cart or remove, it will click on that without identifying the text. So let's do one thing actually. Here I will be adding two more by locators actually. I'll say like this: remove first item. I'm just saying like this. Okay, and then I will be creating another one, remove second item. These are the locators actually I'm using. Now to do this one, what is that I need to use? I need to use this entire thing. Don't get confused. Let me, I will be removing that actually here. Okay, now if you see here, it's throwing me error because I have to just give one only. One means it will be taking the first one, and this. Okay, so now when I'm saying this one, inventory item, nth child, first means first item. Inside that, if you are seeing any of the child element as button inventory means this one. If I go to this inspect, you can see button inventory. On the first instance, you can just click on this one. The same thing I will be taking on the second one also. So can I just copy paste this entire thing, and then I'll say instead of 1, I will say 2. Okay, now because this method already added that into the cart, so if I'm clicking on this remove first item and second item, then this will remove it from that cart. Okay, So what I will do again, I will write two more methods. Okay, now these methods, can I name that as maybe just say def, okay, and then remove, and I will say first item from cart. Okay, this is my first one. Okay, so here I will be clicking on that item. Which item? I will be clicking this first item, remove first item. And always call this method, I mean this method, this should be self. Okay, this should be actually you will be calling when add to cart is already clicked actually. So the sequence, the way I'm using, you have to use the same sequence. Then only it will be working properly. Remove second item from cart. That's it. Okay. And now here what I will be doing, I will be calling the same variable. Instead of remove first, I will be making it as second. Fine. That's it. Now I will be, the spelling is incorrect. Okay. Now these two methods, what I will be doing, I will be calling into the test case actually. So here I will say self dot home page dot, I will say remove first item from cart, and then the same thing I will be doing for the second item as well. Now here I will be just changing this because I have created two methods, right? Now once I will be removing two items, what will be this count? This count will be 4. That is what I want to check it. Okay, and here it should be 4. Fine. And just to see that, let me just wait actually for some time. Time dot sleep. Maybe I will do a 3 seconds. Let me just import time. The same thing I'll do here as well so that you can see properly. Fine. Okay. So one thing, if you would have seen here, this is like more what you call structurized, and then you can see even a non-tech person who is coming here, they can even come to know that what are these steps is all about. Okay, so the debugging will be more easier because we are hiding all the implementations, and this is pure like what are the steps we are performing. And another thing, if you see here, like this particular page object model is completely avoiding this tail element reference exception if in future you are getting. The reason is that if I go to this particular method for an instance, and let's go to this get text, you can see each time it is identifying this locator actually. Not like we are keeping that item web element into a variable, and then that variable we are using throughout our framework. So whenever we need to perform certain action or fetch some value, we are at that instance, we are identifying the element and then performing the operation so that the reference will not be gone, and always we will be getting a fresh reference actually. Okay, so that's how we are avoiding the what do you call our stale element reference exception. Normally that comes like if you do like this, just for instance, if you do like this driver dot find element, and then you will say element dot click, and then some other method you will say element dot send keys. So by the time this element send keys and click, there will be a refresh would have come, and then this element reference would have gone. That's where actually you are getting this tail element reference exception. So that is what we are avoiding actually in this page object model. Okay, now let's see whether we can execute this test case without any failure or not. Okay, so for this let me rerun the same test. Okay, as you can see, oops, some problem is there. Let me see that. Oh, you know what? Actually, this problem came because I want to here actually. This is the problem actually because see, I was telling right, this is an integer and this is a string. So what I can do, simple way, I can do this one actually. Just cast that into a string. Okay, that is the because before we were not writing this particular statement, right? Once we have written this string, this has to be a string, so that's why I have come. But this particular assert can stay as it is only, as an integer only. Let me rerun this one. You can see all the 6 items added. Now you can see 2 items removed and the cart count is 4. It will assert and close. That's it. As you can see, the test case also got passed. Fine. So this is one of the way you can do that. Even if you want, you can identify like specific to this, if you can just hard code actually this particular inventory item and then fetch the amount should be 7.99 or something. Okay, so that is the other way also you can do that. So that's pretty much it for today. I mean, stay tuned. In our upcoming sessions, we will even see how we can handle these particular options actually. Like we will be fetching the value from this drop down. So based on the selection, we will be verifying whether the first item is showing properly or not. Okay. So that's pretty much it for today. Hope this session is helpful. Do practice and then let me know if you guys have any questions. Okay. Thank you for watching and do subscribe to this YouTube channel.